Yo, what's going on, DigiDestin, as well as potential Dragon Ballers interested in the Digimon TCG. Joey back again. We're doing another Digimon video. Today, I want to go over the yellow cards in Heaven's Yellow. Again, I am a bit of a Digimon noob, so I'm going to give my best rating to these cards. This is going to be basically our starting format when this game does come over to America. So it's pretty cool to take a look at the cards, see what they do. I did look at the red cards last Sunday. Make sure to go check that video out if you want to see what red cards are coming out in the red starter deck. That's more like Agumon and the Dragon type of Digimon. But guys, if you are new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button if you like the Digimon content so I know to keep doing it. And if you go down in the description, there are a ton of links that'll help the channel out, but the one I really want you guys to go to is Madtown Gaming. Get your sealed product from them. That's our channel and team sponsor. He's the best, so make sure to go down there and check him out. Get your sealed product there. That being said, let's get started with Heaven's Yellow. So first off, we have our Digitama Tokamon. We have an in-training lesser type. That's a weird typing. I don't know, it doesn't go with like the bird or like the dragon stuff we saw in the red. But anyways, Digivolve effect, your turn, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted by dropping to 0 DP, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP for the turn. Interesting. So in Dragon Ball Super, for example, red has a lot of like the minusing effects, like minusing power. So it seems like maybe yellow has a lot to do with that in this game. So we'll see if more yellow cards end up decreasing power. But that's not bad. I mean, if your deck inherently just minuses cards, then that's gonna be pretty good. That's gonna be basically free power, so doesn't seem too bad. So we have our 2-drop level 3 vanilla 3k. We saw the same thing in the red deck, and again, I'm sure we'll see a pretty decent amount of vanillas. But the cool thing about vanillas in this game actually is the fact that you have the Digivolve effects. So for example, Tokamon and then putting on top Salamon, you get the effect of when something is minus, this gains 1k, so that becomes a 4k beater. So next up, we have Tapirmon. We have a vaccine, 4k 3 cost. Does he have pretty much the same stats as Salamon? Okay, so he costs 1 more memory than Salamon. He has 1000 more power, but other than that, he is still pretty much a vanilla. So again, Tokamon, underneath him, you're getting the plus 1000 when you minus one of your opponent's Digimon. So now we have a Digimon with actual skill text. We have Patamon. So rookie data. So same thing. This goes over the Tokamon. Your turn, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted by dropping to 0, gain 1 memory. Okay, so we haven't seen any of the cards yet that minus power, but it looks like Patamon and Tokamon both offer effects to their later Digimon when they evolve more. They offer these effects that boost power and they give you memory. So that's one of the things about the game is it's not the most interactive game I've ever seen. It's almost like in line with Pokemon in the sense that, you know, it's not like Dragon Ball where you have a ton of counterplays. It's not like Yu-Gi-Oh where you have a ton of hand traps, Magic where you have like instant spells. This game is more so like play my creatures. They have summoning sickness. Next turn, attack your stack as much as I can. Maybe occasionally I'll attack your Digimon, but it seems like, at least we haven't gotten through the rest of the cards yet, but in yellow it seems like you have a lot of ways to minus opponent's Digimon's power. So maybe that's one of the ways. Maybe that's going to be a way to, you know, enact removal in this game, and that could be somewhat more interactive. But I am actually really interested if they're going to have more interaction in the future, as in like, I don't know, some sort of counterplay or anything like that. But it seems kind of difficult to do with the memory system. But I say all that to say that it seems like these gaining and losing memory effects is possibly the deepest type of interaction that there is right now. But anyways, let's go on to Andromon. So this goes over all of the different rookies that we just read. So Andromon again is a vanilla 5 cost, but for 2 memory you can evolve it over a level 3. He has 4k power. Let's see his Digivolve effect. When attacking, if you have 4 or more security cards, gain 1 memory. It's so interesting. I think by this point in the red starter deck we actually saw some effect text on some cards. So not seeing effect text yet is pretty interesting. I mean, we have a lot of these Digimon that give their predecessors, or I guess you know, the Digimon to follow them via evolution, they get the effects. So I mean, there is an effect one coming up, so I guess we'll see what it does. Gatomon, now this is a plain Jane vanilla. She has more power than Andromon, so I could definitely see going for this. Actually, I think when you get to like, you know, the champion and above stage, it's probably a little bit more okay to play more of like the skillless Digimon, and I'm sure, you know, as the game goes on, they're going to print more high-level Digimon with more effects. But my point is, since you have all these effects in the, you know, rookie and champion level Digimon, playing some of the higher cost vanillas, they're actually like not really vanillas in a sense, because you're getting all those Digivolve effects. But definitely seems like a card you'd play. Next up, we have another level 4. We have Unimon. So champion, vaccine, mythical beast, 6k, and this one actually has an effect. So when an opponent's Digimon attacks, you may suspend this Digimon to force the opponent to attack it instead. I'm pretty sure that's just blocker. I don't know why they didn't put it there, but when attacking, lose 2 memory. So I think there was a similar card in the red deck, if I'm not mistaken, that when you attacked, you lost 1 or 2 memory. So I guess, you know, they're making these higher cost attackers, but in the beginning, they want them to have a drawback, which definitely makes sense. I mean, again, as time goes on, card games, you know, experience power creep. So I'm sure that losing 2 memory is a skill that will one day be looked at as like, wow, why did they ever print that? But, you know, it's either vanillas or losing memory to attack with bigger cards, essentially. So here we have our first ultimate, Magna Angemon, level 5. We have a 7k, evolves for 3, but you can hardcast it for 7. So when attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1000 DP for the turn. So if I go back up here to like Tokamon, for example, this requires their Digimon to be deleted. Did Patamon require the same thing? Yeah, deleted. So okay, we're up to our ultimate, and we haven't really seen anything that like one-shots an opponent's Digimon, right? Via minusing their power. So we haven't really seen ways to trigger Patamon or Tokamon yet, but I mean, we still have a few cards to read. Angelmon, Ultimate Vaccine, Archangel, 7000. When Digivolving, when you have 3 security cards or less, trigger this. Take the top card of your deck and place it on top of your security. Again, that's like another form of interaction, sort of. Gaining life is good because, you know, if your opponent just has Weenie Rush available to them and they just attack your stack 5 times in one turn, you can't really do anything about it because not every card has blocker. It is nice to be able to get some life into your stack. That seems pretty good. So I definitely think that this Angelmon is probably a 4-up staple. It seems really strong in this deck, actually. But I do want to see something that actually deletes Digimon via minusing. So let's see if we get to that. Magnadron, we have Mega Vaccine, one of the Holy Dragons. This is a plain vanilla, but 12k, that seems quite big. And again, once you're giving all your Digimon the effects via, you know, the underling Digimon, that seems pretty good. So, but again, I'm still waiting to see like something that minuses something and just completely wipes it. And it seems like, you know, they stopped at Mega, which is, I mean, obviously that's pretty much how Digimon is, but there are a few Digimon that go beyond Mega, so it's kind of interesting to see that these don't offer any Digivolve effects, but I guess there's a space for them, actually. Maybe it's just here on the database, but maybe they'll print cards like that in the future, like a Mega level that offers a Digivolve effect. So Mega, 10k, 12, evolve for 4. When attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon get minus 4000 DP for the turn. Okay, so this can actually one-shot like a lot of rookies, a few champions, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so you could like one-shot an Angemon. There are some other Digimon in the red deck you could one-shot. So I guess this is the card you really just want to build up to. I think this is, you know, leagues better than the Magnadron just because of that effect. But I'm sure you'd play some number of both. I mean, this seems like an automatic 4 of, and then Magnadron maybe like 1 or 2 of, but I think Seraphimon is really the Digimon you want to get to because you want to be one-shotting those Digimon. Anyways, that's what I'm thinking for the Digimon. Let's read the Tamers. We have TK. So opponent's turn, all your security Digimon get plus 2000 DP. That's pretty cool, actually. That gives you a lot of defense. I remember reading a card from the red deck that like boosted your Digimon in the stack. I think it was just for that turn. I think it boosted it by a bit more, but this being a permanent effect is kind of nice because it's not too reliant, for example, on like, you know, flipping it off your security. Although if you do flip it off your security, you play it without paying its cost. I think that's pretty much standard for all the Tamers. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but definitely seems like a 4 of. I think Tamers are pretty strong cards just because they add static effects to the board state. So pretty good there. Let's read some of our option cards. So we have Heaven's Gate. We have a 1 cost. Main, one of your Digimon gets plus 3000 DP for the turn. Seems pretty good. Security, all your Digimon and security Digimon get plus 5000 DP for the turn, and then add this card to the owner's hand. That seems super strong. Automatic 4 of. For the one reason that, you know, all your Digimon and security Digimon get the boost. I haven't seen a card like that yet. And then adding the cards to the hand, that's actually a lot like Dragon Ball, where you take a damage from your life and it goes right to your hand. That's like an inherent game mechanic. But with Digimon here, this seems to be a good effect for maintaining card advantage, as well as, you know, being able to reuse this card. So that seems really strong there. Next up, we have Heaven's Charm, another option. We have a 2-cost option. Main, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn, and then security, add this card to the owner's hand. Okay, I'm really liking this actually just for these past 2 options, because getting the cards to your hand, it just seems really powerful. And then the effect to minus 2000 something, I like that because it seems to trigger Tokamon and Patamon, so that seems pretty good there. Holy Flame, 2-cost option. Main, one of your opponent's Digimon gets this Digimon checks 3 fewer security cards. Interesting. Until the end of your opponent's next turn. So I don't think in red we saw too much that like checks more than 3, but I think there were a few Digivolve effects, if my memory serves correctly, that added the ability to check security. So this actually can make some of the hitters like non-hitters, which I think is pretty cool. They basically make a Digimon on your opponent's side of the field do 0 damage, especially if it's a big Digimon that you just can't remove. This is essentially like making that Digimon useless. I mean, I guess they can attack into your Digimon that are tapped, but besides that, it's not dealing damage directly to your life. Security, all of your opponent's Digimon get this Digimon checks 1 fewer security for the turn. This seems like an automatic 4 of, basically stopping you from getting one-shotted in one, swoop turn. But I guess if they have like Weenie Rush going on, which I know is apparently good in the Japanese meta right now, that could still get around this. But if they have a lot of Digimon that check multiple security, this is going to stop that, which is pretty cool. So 7 Heavens, we have a 7 cost option. Main, one of your opponent's Digimon get minus 1000 DP for the turn. That's kind of lame. For a 7 cost, I think that's way overcosted. I understand, security, activate this card to activate main, and you don't have to pay the memory costs on those as far as I'm aware. But that's just way overcosted for the minus 1000. I guess they don't really want you to use that. But that's just kind of weird to me. I don't know. But still seems like a good card. I mean, all these option cards, I could see them being 4-ofs. I don't know if you play, that many copies of option cards in general, but I guess when you're playing with a starter deck, your options are pretty limited. But overall, I mean, everything in this deck actually seems quite good. There were a few things in the red deck that I wasn't in love with, and then I guess in here there are a few things like, the Magnadramon being a total vanilla. If you don't have the Seraphimon, it doesn't seem like you're doing what the deck really wants to do, which is like one-shotting Digimon, triggering Tokomon and Patamon. But guys, let me know how far off the mark I am. If a lot of you guys probably know a lot more about this game than I do, so let me know how far off the mark I am. If you enjoyed it, again, like, subscribe, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.